crappy Valentine's Day, and welcome to the latest edition of Nintendo Enthusiast Week in Review. I'm Sean Long, I'm your host. Bunch of cool stuff to talk about this week. We had the new 3DS come out, we had Monster Hunter come out, we had Majora's Mask come out, bunch of other stuff going on. So without any further ado, let's jump into this past week's news. Alright, so of course the biggest news of the past week is the new 3DS is out in North America, Monster Hunter is out in North America, and Majora's Mask is out in North America. I've already reviewed Majora's Mask for the website. I got a pre-copy of it, so if you want to read that review, check it out over here. I've never really been familiar with the game, so it's kind of a good read. Now, as far as the new 3DS is concerned, it is a good system. It is definitely worth the upgrade if you play a lot of 3DS. I dig the 3D effects. I think they're really well done. It's very nice to be able to, move around a little bit and not have to worry about the 3D faltering. The C-Stick is a little weird, but once you get used to it, man, it's pretty solid. And I don't know, I just really like the system. Watching videos in 3D on YouTube is really well done. And, it's worth it. I really feel that if you could sell especially if you could sell your system. I'm selling my old system today to someone in town on a trading website for 120 bucks. So realistically, this is only costing me 80 bucks. 80 bucks. You can't beat that. Also, we gave Monster Hunter a 10 out of 10 on the website, and I was a little skeptical about it. I didn't do that review, but after playing this game for about 5 or 6 hours yesterday, I'm convinced. It is a very solid game. It's a lot easier to transition to if you're not a huge Monster Hunter fan, which I am not, and it's really enjoyable. The online is smooth, the graphics are good, and the battles are just really fun. They've really added some cool stuff such as mounting and, jumping off of cliffs and slashing dinosaurs or whatever the hell they call them in this game, but it's a really fun game. I'm really enjoying it, and it's really worth a pickup in my opinion. So NPD numbers came out for January, and everyone was kind of wondering if the Wii U would fall off the Christmas cliff or if it would continue to do well. And surprisingly, it continued to do well. Hardware sales were up 30% over last January, software sales were up 45% over the same time frame, which is huge for the system. It's good to see that kind of positive momentum for the system. On the 3DS side of things, hardware sales weren't all that great, but with the new 3DS on the horizon, that was kind of to be expected. But software sales were phenomenal. If you want to check out a full list of life-to-date sales figures for games like Smash Bros. 3DS and Pokemon, click over here. I'll put a link to it. It's pretty fascinating.
This week's Retro Game of the Week is brought to you by PunchOutGaming.com. From retro gaming to modern, PunchOutGaming.com has you covered. Join their Facebook group for the best sales as well. Link in description.
Yesterday was Friday the 13th, so of course everyone's going to know what this week's Retro Game of the Week is. Super Mario Bros. 2. No, I'm just kidding. It's Friday the 13th on NES. It's a cool game. Angry Video Game Nerd kind of bashed it and everyone kind of gave it a negative stigma, but I actually kind of like the game. Finding Jason Voorhees before he kills camp counselors on an NES game is just pretty sick in the head. The music is really well done, the graphics are decent, and yeah, there's problems with it, like why I almost said a bad word, why is Jason purple and all that stuff, but it's a solid game. You can pick it up for relatively cheap, and it's Friday the 13th, you might as well add this to your collection. So in a complete shocker, Sonic Boom is the worst selling Sonic game of all time. Who cares? What else do we got? So some news straight out of left field is that the original developers, some ex-Rare developers from Banjo-Kazooie, are working on a game right now called Project Ukulele. Supposedly it's going to be the spiritual successor to the Banjo-Kazooie series, which is freaking huge, man, because that series really fell off after it left the Nintendo platforms, the N64 in particular. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. They haven't really announced many details. They did hint that it would come to the Wii U, which is huge for the system because that's kind of where these games belong. So, I don't know. A lot of people say, oh, Rare should just make it on Microsoft platforms, but you gotta remember, like, the original teams from 98, 99 that were at Rare working on the N64 probably aren't even there anymore. It's probably just more of a name than it is, a company that was developing these games. So, I don't know, what the hell do you guys think of Project Ukulele? Are you looking forward to a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie? Let me know in the comments. The final bit of news is Amiibo related, and it's kind of interesting to be honest with you. Meta Knight, of course, is a Best Buy exclusive, and if you go to the Best Buy website, they say that it is a Best Buy exclusive at launch. So does that mean that retailer-specific Amiibo are going to be not just retailer-specific, just for at launch? It'll be interesting to see. I think Nintendo's really having to change their game plan up a little bit with how these amiibos are because people are going nuts over them. So will we see retailer-specific amiibo at all retailers soon? Maybe. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Alright, and that's going to do it for this week's show. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our page, leave me a comment, hit me up on social media, do what you gotta do. Unfortunately, I have a bit of bad news to share with you guys this week. We lost one of our website members earlier this week to depression. His name was John. You guys probably aren't familiar with him. He did do a video with Jason, and you know, it's tough, man. Depression's a son of a bitch. I've been there. I was there when I was 16. A lot of people are there. So if you ever feel like you're alone, you know, don't feel that way, man. There's people out there. You know, hit me up. I'll talk to you. You know, just don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you can't handle life, because you can, man. You can. You're a human. You're put on this earth for a reason. So, you know, we'll miss you, John. You were a great dude. I'll miss talking to you, and I'll see you on the other side, brother. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Later.